And welcome back to Tomb Raider Anniversary. The third main stage of the game begins, aka Egypt from Temple of Khamun. And well, my personal opinion about this is that Egypt is that it's the worst location as much as gameplay is concerned, because well, it's just a dreary and I would also say pointlessly grim. I would say not. I think that if been standing beneath that would have crushed Lara right there. So there was no even need, no much of reason to go for that. So, but Egypt, of course, follows. Actually, if I would look about it, Egypt follows a bit different pattern. Oh damn! A bit of mistake. Should have also forgotten that. But Egypt follows a bit different kind of pattern regarding the level structure, because it's just, instead of 4, it's just 3 stages. It's just to say Temple of Khamun, the Obelisk of the Khamun, which I might think might be the worst stage of the game, and then Sanctuary of the Sion. Seems that the remaining 2 rulers of Atlantis decided that they would stash the 3rd piece somewhere, but somewhere else. So those falling landing blocks seem to will become quite common thing around here. And some maneuvers and some cunning jumping maneuvers to be done. And another new kind of enemy, this time Black Panthers. Why they would be Black Panthers in Egypt is completely unknown. But there's a big sphinx and one of those mummy looking things. And new enemy introduced. They can spatter those obnoxious fireballs as well. But they are not that tough regarding how much damage they can take. So let's just bring out the magnums. Just to take them down faster. And there would be a big, you could say, obelisk-like structure over there. A pool of water, which, judging by the climate, might also be actually quite warm, seeing the climate and weather. So it would be some kind of, it would be at least that kind of body of water which would most likely not freeze Lara to death. And if I recall right, later Tomb Raider games did occasionally take account different temperatures of water, which is to say something that if you fell into cold water, really cold water, you would start losing health real fast, or there would be a way faster oxygen loss if you had to swim. Not that much of an expert on that, but just time to start climbing with all these Okay, that was not a good way to climb. All right, I came from there. There's a sphinx. With a lot of face damage in it. Alright, so yeah. It's generally, you could say, the structure of the stages is usually in line of that you have to figure out a way, whatever the high location, wherever you need to get going, and then climb up that path. Not here, so where would it be? It's one of these obelisk standing pillars, which is the way to climb. It was not in the body of water pool. Alright. And that's the path forward at the end of the level. Not that. And not over there either. Alright, let's just try a bit different route. Yeah, just a little bit of a janky or wonky hit detection about climbing this pillar. So I was completely right. It was just a slight issue in executing the proper plan. So it's once again still climbing up all these problems. So swing and get through. Yeah, those are timing. There's some timing based puzzles regarding those moments, places as well. So yeah, it was gonna be a jump to here. Oh, there was a health pack over there, but well, up. That was a beautiful graspy jump. So just climbing up this massive Egyptian structure, up and jumping over there, and whoop, more of these crazy jumps across death-defying leaps. And I think her legs would most likely look something like which would be scraped with a sandpaper a lot. Because when you look about all those landings she takes with her knees straight to the concrete rocky floors and walls, it would be no wonder that her legs would be quite badly beaten. Even though her walking is much, I don't think that her kind of red and bruised and covered with cuts and scratches legs would look good on catwalk. But one of the sphinxes is now open, so let's just get in. And arm ourselves with magnums. You don't really get to make much use of magnum pistols, so I could just well make use of them. And these hieroglyphs drawings that they added here are also quite nice extra detail, and they are following the basic Egyptian style, which basically was that kind of perspective that it basically shows the body part from its most pleasing visual angle, which was to say the head was shown from profile. Heads were shown from profile. Well, most of the body was shown from profile. Alright, those beasties are a bit of a... Well, magnums. Well, that's all that problem. So, Temple of Khamun contains lots of this kind of one more whole pack of rabbit beasties was shut down. But at least I opened up a little bit of an extra path to get one more first aid kit. They are, well, if you don't see much use of them, there's still no problem about having them. And that's kind of a, you could say, basic creed that gamers operate on, that even if it's not your, you could say, main use, there's usually no bad thing in keeping it, in making use of it. So, but now it should be a jump here, and jump here. And now once this gets closer to wall, I can now make use of this. Whoop! Damn it! Gotta try again. Alright, landed here, and as I now do a little bit of observation, it's actually kind of tricky. There's a little bit of extra puzzle by just now I have to jump into this and then very quickly jump up here using that door. Kind of tricky, these kind of little puzzles. So just extra fast shimmy using the triangle on this platform, that is to say. And Egypt stages have lots of that kind of sudden swift and well, Egypt has lots of that kind of timing based and bit of misdirection filled little tricks, and I really am not that keen about those choices, although visually these are just as good stages as any other. And that was a really simplistic puzzle of just getting there and pushing the blocks. Damn it! Alright, so yeah, another of these, you could say. Alright, and here went a bit wrong, but bit wrong does not count. And if there's any room which you could say that, yep, there's gonna be a battle in here, It's this. African crocodile. They are actually quite dangerous. No, you ain't gonna eat me. I'm gonna make you a hand first. Or leather jacket. Or clothes. Yeah, I think or shoes. Maybe shoes. I don't know. Maybe alligator skin, crocodile skin makes good leather for shoes. Most likely it does. It's thick and tough leather because, well, they're crocodilians. Those animals have thick and tough skin. So, another big pool of water with a tunnel to go down. So just getting some air and this one opens just for a little while, so no way to just get up to the upstairs and breathe air. You have to just go right away into another. Actually, I would say that this is kind of not at all ugly looking decorations in these walls. Definitely gives a good, you could say, glimpse, an idea of how these locations work. And okay, not like that. Gotta do a little bit of extra thinking. All right. Yeah, that was it. Well, the most simplistic solution to problem. Yeah, and jumps. Although I would not say those quick switching floor puzzles to be the most fun kind of such puzzles. Just another of these pole climbing puzzles as well. I personally feel that these Egypt stages they suffer from, you could say, arbitrary gameplay, as in that in order to make the gameplay good, interesting and fun and all that, the location is made so very much into game itself that it really ceases to be, you could say, credible location of whatever purpose it was basically supposed to have. As in this case, it stops being a credible Egyptian temple, even if it is ruined such location. And that's not always you could say, in a medium which occasionally strives to have at least semi-plausible real locations. It doesn't always work perfectly, but perfection is not requirement. And because of the block dropped, there's now this piece of the rock is not basically going anywhere, so it can be moved with less problem. And So, and once it gets pushed over here, it gives boost to get to jump here, and there's another of these, you could say, timed brick wall puzzles, but a couple of jumps and jump and jump in here. At this phase, I would say that it's a bit of annoyance because of the Alright, just pull this down with your... then go for a big swing and get through that. And with that move, a little bit of a extra temple floor has been opened. Real big convoluted systems, but for what purpose? And get up here, and once more of these levers to pull. This stage really feels like following the path of that. Yep, almost every move you make may be something that is gonna fling you into very hard and sturdy stone floor below. But thanks to that, I am now completely up here, so I can just make use of the gravity shortcut, getting myself further inside in temple. But what is Kamoon being beyond vaguely sounding Egyptian sounding name? Well, maybe that's all it was meant to be. Good kitty. Play dead. Or don't be dead. Yep. Oh yeah, there's quite a lot of kitties. They're dead. And even more dead, more kitties. But even those more kitties were killed, and I might guess that if some sort of Egyptian officials would figure out that what kind of things Lara Croft is doing in this place, they might get, I might say, they might not be particularly friendly. Shooting firefights inside most likely irreplaceable cultural treasures and ruins are not most likely not a good way to curry favor from. Alright, not that way. It's the jump here and okay, yeah, that's not the way. It was that way, just a bit, had to take a bit more convoluted way. Okay, that might have been a bit of a blunder. But let's try again. Oh yeah. Like this. I just so-called using quite vague and annoying term of giving up too early. And there was a secret stash of stuff in here, but no artifact of any kind. So I can just climb up a little bit, and now I can just jump in here. And I would really wonder, are these writings just basically vague ancient Egyptian looking text, or real writing in ancient Egyptian language, even if it would be something like complete nonsense? Like or some sort of weird profanity or in-joke for very, very, very expectedly minuscule amount of audience who has expertise in regarding ancient Egyptian language. Okay. It might be that it's actually it would be a real text, although at least it's real looking, and I would guess that in this kind of medium, real looking is very much what is quite much the desired result, not being real but looking real, especially looking real enough. Well, there's some magnum bullets, and that takes a little bit of special timing, that little swing puzzle over there, and a little bit of suspense by collapsing little brick wall. Yep, even though those kind of, yep, just a death-defying leap, and another. So climbing these poles demands, of course, quite much of that regular styling thing, that look ahead where you're going, and then once you're going there, just try to head towards the proper location. Yep. Because, well, that proper location might be, well, it would take some convoluted little maneuvers. Ah, damn it, gotta try it again. Alright. Trying again, and this time with success, but it was a secret, not a location to enter. So it was a bit of a misjudgment made from my part. Not like that. It was. Was there another method? Oh yeah, there is. God, that room is a very much of a giant misdirection, in sense that you're gonna wonder that what is the puzzle in here, even though there is a puzzle. it's not the only thing that there's problem or puzzle about it. You can actually go further up into this location. Okay, let's just reset the puzzle because whoop. 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 That's a death-defying jump across the temple to this side. Oh yeah, that was the proper solution. The wall room has a bit of a misdirection with that solution. And now I can just... there's a... you could say bit easier way to get there. So, returning to that room. Alright, did some jumps to get here, and now there was this mechanism which normally would have been locked, but now as I unlocked it, I can twist it and bend it and open it and get path further open. And it's something that, yep, safe enough to drop down. So let's just try climbing. Alright, is there any other? Does the other half have any extra special location? Nope, it does not. Just dropping here. Ah, oh, it was still a sand pit was below, giving you a little bit extra travel space. And here's one little interesting little location of all these block puzzles showing up around here. There being these rooms containing stuff and also hints about what to do, where to go, how to do. You could call them very necessary gameplay mechanics and things. As in these little structures. And okay, that's kind of surprised me. Now, how in hell that beast could be there without any kind of, you could say, food or water or any other that kind of things for that long is completely unknown to me. And that's not something that you really need to be start thinking about when it's a matter of this medium. But pulling off these blocks as well also opens some of these paths, which is real good because, well, these paths also contain hints about what to do. Not all of them, but some of them. And the stage also has a secret regarding specific locations. Any other critters? Yep. Play dead. So those images, quite accurately just basically correspond to what kind of spin you want to do to all these little locations. But these broken pillars also allow access to a relic. Yeah, it demands some of these big jumps to get to the top of these obelisks. And then just jumping from one to another. And then to a support wall. And just now climbing inside to get the first aid kit and a cat statue. And interestingly enough, even if it would be, you could say, doing a path a bit differently. Okay, knife kind of item is with the blue vase, so that's actually correct already. Those round things are with the guy in a container, so it's not this. Not this. But this. And bird is the one with a keg of beer, I would guess. That just takes one turn. And the one with a reed, or I might guess the grain is the one with a couple of and turn it like this, and that opens the path. And so it would be time to go further and get to the Temple of Kamoon. So I'll see you next time. See ya.